Developing story, Flock is rolling out new auditing and accountability controls for its license plate reader cameras. This move follows growing privacy concerns and a string of high-profile cases where officers allegedly misused the system to track people for personal reasons. Flock will now require all agencies to use an audit tool that automatically locks out users displaying suspicious search behavior. The company is also mandating case numbers for searches and reducing its default data retention period from 30 days down to 7. The latest update also allows for local jurisdictions to restrict what searches federal officials and other outside agencies can use with those cameras. So this update coming days after the city of Grass Valley canceled their surveillance cam contract. Residents insisted that the license plate reading cameras were an invasion of privacy, or even more, being used by the feds to get personal data and crack down on immigrants. Sergeant Ed Igo with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department is here with us today to explain the intent for the use of these cameras. So, Sergeant, do you feel, and does the department feel, that there's been a lot of maybe media-driven misinformation about how these cameras are being used all the way around?
Absolutely. So there has been some fear-mongering going on about it. What people need to understand is that this information is only shared in the state and is not shared with any federal government.
Some of the concerns were actual law enforcement, maybe rogue, using these to track down a girlfriend or spy on someone, and that has been done. How much of that do you feel has gone into people's suspicion of the technology?
No, it's absolutely understandable. Safeguards need to be in place. We need to be able to audit who's utilizing any type of law enforcement database. And to the individuals that utilized it improperly and were terminated, good. They should be.
So Grass Valley was up in arms on this, and the city fathers there are removing the technology. So what happens now in Grass Valley? People won't feel like they're spied on anymore. But if there's a situation of a kidnapping or a robbery or identifying a getaway vehicle, what happens in Grass Valley now?
Well, they're missing out on one of the most invaluable investigative tools that we have. And realistically, that's going to make their investigations more difficult.
So there are 5,000 law enforcement agencies in the country that use these surveillance type cameras, the Flock. So many are going to be removing these. So what happens then? What other technology would you use to apprehend ne'er-do-wells?
There really is no replacement for this. You have to understand, we utilize this investigative tool on a daily basis. Recently, rescuing a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old that were trafficked out off of Watt Avenue, being able to locate and rescue them, rescuing missing persons, but also the clearance rate that we're able to achieve with, say, for example, our homicides. Last year in 2025, our clearance rate for homicides was 100%. And on each individual homicide case, LPR data is used to either help locate suspects or even exonerate people. And so there's nothing else that could possibly replace this incredible tool.
You understand how some people feel, I just don't want to be spied on. You might have a lot of people, look, they could spy on me all day. Me personally, I'm not doing anything. Maybe for the greater good, you allow this in certain situations, what you're talking about, which is kidnappings and whatnot.
Absolutely. And it's obviously 100% understandable that people want to just have an idea on what the government is doing, what the government has access to, and we fully support that. Again, as long as there's the safeguards, as long as there's the audits, to be able to identify these, as you put, rogue individuals that are improperly using this information. They need to be terminated, they need to be gone.
All right, Sergeant Ed Igo, Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.